thank you to Shirokoi for your support on Patreon. Baby, I know I chose this lonely life, it seems it's strangling me now. But I won't let the show go on. Hello everyone, my name is Vivian. I woke up a little bit ago, and it's one of those days where I just can't seem to get going. And I figured, what better a game to play in such circumstance could there be than Temptation's Ballad? This game always gives me a little pep in my step, a smile on my face, and joy in my heart. My heart. Say it like a Scotsman. A joy in my heart. Heart. I believe this is where we left off. Yes. Little disclaimer here. This is not the most recent build. This is actually a build further ahead than the most recent build, but I'm only going to play for this through the most recent build. I was told a specific thing happens, someone shows up, and that's when the update ends, and so that's where I'll stop recording this for now. Spoof. Hi, Spoofy. Hi, you Boofy. Oh, my little Boofy. Your breath is disgusting. God, you need your toothbrush. Brush them teethies. I posted on Twitter about my copyright problems with some of the games. When YouTube would identify a song in one of these games that's all gotten from like royalty-free websites, but they claim it's a cover song, and so it fucking flags the video, and I'm like, man. And so I posted these things, like, for whom it may concern. Those were directed mainly to other people who do videos. Not that many of the other people that do videos in this sphere care that I exist in a positive way. Wow, I'm not feeling good today at all. But some of the devs went through, namely Shirokoi here, and went through and found replacements and changed the songs, which I hope to Christ didn't cause too much of a problem, and I didn't intend to call out any devs or anything, but hopefully things are okay. Oops. Artemi returned to their viewing booth to find it utterly empty. Her post-jousting excitement popped like a balloon, and she glanced around for her friends. Where did Sir Sid and Cole go? I hope they managed to watch my jousting match, despite how quick it was. Oh, there you are. Welcome back. What a thrill you are in the arena. Oh, that was worth the price of tickets alone. And there she is. Artemi perked up to see Agatha beaming at her from the back of the booth. There's the spoofy. Hey, there he is. Right there. Good boy. The old bat clapped her hands with a giddy laugh. So that is the power of the creators chosen. Truly impressive. Oh, thank you, ma'am. You flatter me. Have you seen my friends anywhere? Your friends? The Bonebreaker boy snuck off before your joust began, and the Buff Badger ran off towards the western wing to prepare for his brawling match. Artemi's shoulders sagged. They both left without a word? Of course Cole would leave before even watching my joust. Well, I hope Sir Sid is feeling better at the very least. He can rest assured that the Calder fellow will bother him no longer. Agatha wiped her glasses with a sympathetic frown. Well, I can't fault the O'Shaughnessy boy too much. He's the perfect product of the nobility's obsession with status and power. House O'Shaughnessy built their entire relevance off of the strength of the family bloodline. There are rumors that they are willing to put their children through risky experiments to increase their magical potential. Alas, all of Gaius O'Shaughnessy's children are gone now. All that's left is Calder, his sole grandchild, and the boy's magical strength is mediocre at best. I can't imagine the pressure he's under. You're gonna make Artemi fucking sympathize with a dude that she just fucking trounced emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually? I don't know. Agatha sighed and shook her head wearily. Children should not be made and used for the selfish wants of their parents. A little projecting there. Artemi bit her lip thoughtfully. I suppose I can sympathize with his situation. However, none of this excuses his cruel actions towards my friends. Our decisions are wholly our own, and we must take responsibility for them. Interesting thing for a religious person to say. Ha! Spoken like a true knight of the church. However, you must concede that the way a person is raised would undoubtedly affect their values and decisions. Agatha's eyes narrowed. You would know this personally, wouldn't you? Huh? Just an observation, dear. If you would forgive my secular mindset, I've never put much stock in this whole chosen one hubbub. Artemi fidgeted uncomfortably under the bat's steely gaze. There is a large section of the scientific community who believe that the Creator's chosen is a naturally occurring phenomenon. I personally theorize that it is a property of how celestial energy reacts to living organisms. Of course, the Church is quick to brush off our research, but it is a sentiment shared by many. If we take this so-called creator out of the equation, I should say. If we take this so-called creator out of the equation, I can't help thinking as I look upon you, dear chosen one. Agatha's glasses twinkled with a fascinated grin. All that raw celestial energy, how might it be harnessed? Has it ever been wrongfully manipulated in the past? Artemi felt an uncomfortable lump grow in her throat. Oh god, you can barely hear the game audio, huh? Sorry about that. I do my best to audio mix on the fly, and I'm horrible at it. She frowned at the arcanist as she struggled to swallow it back down. I respect our difference in viewpoint, ma'am. God, the shading on her eyes. She really looks like she's about to cry. However, I have faith that the Creator has a plan for us yet. She would not bestow her blessing upon those who are not fit to wield it. I see. Then I hope for your sake that you are correct. The conversation was interrupted by a small knock on the side of their booth. The little servant popped their head in and saluted nervously at Artemi.
Hello. Sorry to interrupt Lady Gautier, but I bring a message for you. Lady Osmia would like to speak with you regarding your boon.
Oh, they're gonna get married. They're gonna have lots of
spaghetti. The boon you won from the jousting tournament. Lady Osmia bids you meet her in the Eastern Meeting Tower at your earliest convenience.
I see. I will go at once. She turned towards Agatha with a small bow. I must be off. Apologies for the sudden departure. Nay, thank you for humoring this old woman's thoughts. I look forward to witnessing your future endeavors, Artemi Gautier.
Did she just fire us? I don't know. And away we go. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Artemi made her way up to the viewing tower with shaky steps. This would be her first time speaking to a noble. Calder does not count. Olive Cole's warnings about her importance and mannerisms came flooding back to her. She hoped to the heavens that she did not mess this up. Oh, and... What is this? One glance into the tower revealed a mostly empty viewing area, much to her relief. Maybe most of the nobles were on a lunch break or something. You know, they work so hard, those nobles.
Ah, I see you have arrived. Oh! Greetings, my lady. I am at your service.
Artemi attempted a clumsy curtsy that resulted in an uncomfortable metallic clank of her armor. She quickly opted to give a nervous bow instead.
It is an honor to be in your company, lady.
Did I say that wrong?
It's an honor to be in your company.
In your company? Why is that line hitting my mouth weird?
Lady Osmia?
The noblewoman waved her hand dismissively.
No need to be so formal. I was raised in a much more mundane lifestyle than most city nobles. Please, call me Maeve.
Though her expression was unreadable behind her veil, Maeve's soft eyes softened with an amused smile.
There is no need to look so nervous. One would think I've just sentenced you to a horrible fate.
Majora's Mask.
Apologies, I've just never spoken to a noble like you before, m'lady. And I have yet the honor to speak with the Creator's Chosen herself. It is wonderful to finally meet you, Lady Gautier.
Artemis felt her blood pressure spike as Lady Osmia bowed deeply towards her. She had never been on the receiving end of this before. Her mind completely blanked as she struggled to find a response.
Please, there is no need to be so formal. I am undeserving of such regard.
Lady Osmia chuckled. Artemi felt strangely self-conscious in her presence.
My, you are as humble as they say. It is a breath of fresh air after my dealings with all these self-important city nobles. I am glad you are the one to win the jousting tournament instead of that abrasive O'Shaughnessy fellow. As the victor, House Osmia will be happy to grant you whatever boon you desire. Now tell me, friend, what do you wish?
Artemi paused, scratching her head as she pondered. Honestly, she had completely forgotten about the boon and all the chaos. Was there anything she particularly desired? No, it's best to use this boon to help her current mission. All personal wishes would have to come second.
I suppose I would like to request House Osmia's aid with my current task as a church knight. My mission is to locate 4 missing rubies for Prince Cassius. These jewels are incredibly valuable and must be found as soon as possible. House Osmia must have a wide network of allies, both within the city and in the exterior, yes? Your help would greatly increase our chances of success.
Lady Osmia's eyes narrowed, her veil ruffling with a tiny scoff.
House Osmia's allies within the city walls are usually less than eager to aid us, but I will do my best. 4 missing rubies, you say?
Her eyes scanned over Artemi with a familiar, appraising manner. I love the fucking music now.
I had imagined the Creator's Chosen as someone who actively labors to aid the person under her care. To hear that she is instead a lapdog fetching the prince's missing jewelry. Well, forgive my frankness, but I find myself slightly disappointed. You are mistaken, my lady.
Artemi fidgeted nervously.
We believe these rubies are likely arcane and dangerous in the wrong hands. In fact, we have run into one such villain who succeeded in stealing 2 of them. As a church knight, it is my duty to ensure these rubies are safely returned to their rightful place.
The noble's ears twitched. She scratched her chin thoughtfully.
Arcane and dangerous, you say? Why would the royal family need such crystals?
Dots?
Very well. You can rest assured that House Osmia will do our utmost to aid your cause.
Lady Osmia fell quiet for several moments. In the meantime, might I ask you a small favor of my own? I happen to be working on a little mission of my own. My own. Our interests may align, and a future partnership may be mutually beneficial. Really? What is the nature of your mission? I need to come. Oh, Jesus. Did the music have to stop for that joke specifically? Christ. And then it comes back. The noble let out a deep breath. House Osmia's aim in hosting the Firefly Festival is twofold. First is to establish allies within the city's walls. Unfortunately, the vast majority of the Axian nobles view us as druid savages from the exterior. Conducting business within the city has been more difficult than it should be. Secondly, we aim to investigate the origins of this fainting phenomenon that has been appearing within the city. Artemi blinked. The fainting phenomenon? I've heard Cole and Sir Wes mumble about it in passing. Maeve nodded, her eyes narrowed to deadly slits. I have a personal interest in this case. This situation is most peculiar. Masses of people passing out on the streets as though they have been drained of life. It sounds eerily familiar to the victims of the locust famine from a decade ago, though to a much less fatal degree. I believe that this fainting phenomenon may be connected to the tragedy that wiped out my family so many years ago. Or better yet, these two incidents may share the same perpetrator. Artemi's brow furrowed as she pondered the noblewoman's words. I don't understand. I thought the locust famine was a natural disaster of sorts. Maeve's face veil fluttered as she let out a deep, frustrated sigh. Did the church tell you that? Contrary to popular belief, the druids of the exterior are not so defenseless against nature's wrath. Our people have lived in harmony with the land and refined traditions to protect ourselves against such natural disasters. But the locust famine was no natural disaster. It was a man-made scheme, no matter how hard the city tries to deny it. Locusts do not suddenly become magic-resistant and drain the life out of the able-bodied druids under normal circumstances. There is someone behind this atrocity, and I will bring them to justice. Maeve's voice shook with cold, unconcealed rage. It was a little intimidating, but Artemi could not help but feel moved by this young noble's passion. She gulped and looked up. Your dedication to justice is most admirable, Lady Osmia. I would be honored to aid you on your quest. Are there any suspects you have in mind that I should be wary of? Maeve's eyes narrowed. I'm glad you asked. Forgive my wild speculation, but the following are my honest thoughts on the matter. Did you know that Queen Tabitha has been ill for the majority of her reign? It was so severe that many believed she would have perished a decade ago. Strangely, immediately after the famine, where scores of my countrymen fell to life-draining locusts, the royal family happily announced that the queen's diseases had gone into remission. I was still a child at the time and thought little of it, but looking back, the timing is most curious. Artemi felt her stomach drop. You cannot mean to accuse the royal family of mass murder! This must be some sort of coincidence. I accuse nothing. My life's mission is to find the source of the locust famine and bring the perpetrators to justice. I owe my family that much. If it is revealed that my suspicions are incorrect, I will happily shift my focus elsewhere, but it would be irresponsible of me to brush aside promising leads simply because it may offend the monarchy. Maeve's gaze hardened. Artemi had to fight the urge to take a step back from the noble's intense glare. As a noble knight of justice, can I count on your support in this endeavor? Or is the Creator's Chosen simply another meaningless title? Those words hit Artemi harder than she was willing to admit. She froze for a moment before bowing deeply. Of course not! It is my duty to defend my people against all evils of the world. Steel your resolve. Rest assured, Lady Osmia, that you have my full cooperation in your investigation. That is a relief to hear. You too will have House Osmia's full support in your search for the royal family's missing jewels. I suspect our missions will inevitably cross paths as we near our goals. The noble bowed her head. Thank you for lending your ear, Lady Gautier. You are dismissed. Damn, I like her. Artemi nodded before quickly dismissing herself and made her way back to her viewing booth. Her mind was racing as she anxiously pondered what in the world she had gotten herself into. Oh boy.